Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Curseof and welcome back to another video. And welcome to the video going over the Speed Duel League Win-A-Box Finals match. We have the Master AGMN in the top here. We have Nin Jetty Ursus in the bottom. And we have a big match here for you guys. This is the first results coming out for the Streets of Battle City post-ban list format. We're gonna have deck lists for all top 8. They're ready to go. You guys will see them in the video and see them on the Speed Duel League Discord server. Link down in the description in about I don't know, 12 hours we'll say from the posting of this. So that's pretty hype. You guys will see that really soon. Be able to easily access them on the Discord server, and you'll have this video until then to go ahead and get a hold of them. But let's go ahead and hide hands here, preferably. So we have My Precious Queen up here at the top, and we have the Machine Angel Ascension at the bottom. So we have CAs versus the My Precious Queen. Whether it's Red Eyes or the Insect variant is yet to be determined. They are both in top cut overall in the top 8. And then, of course, we have Ursus here playing Cyber Angels. There's nothing else you can be playing with the Machine Angel Ascension skill. So yeah, we're gonna go and see the Master here start off, and we do see more than likely an Insect variant summoning the Cross Sword Beetle here. He inflicts piercing, I believe, which is really good in this format because you're getting these tokens during every single end phase. Does that mean Ursus just straight up passed? He did. Ursus just passed, didn't do anything on his first turn, and just essentially gave his opponent here a free token and a second free token. And then he summoned the Cross Sword Beetle as well. You can see a nice Night Beam come off here, though, sniping out a Dust Tornado. I guess that's kind of irrelevant overall, but we all know how CAs work. They actually got a huge buff from this most recent ban list, allowing them to play 2 Machine Angel Ritual and 3 Ben 10, thanks to the way it's been limited now. Full combo here, by the way. MAR, pitch, send Ben 10 to summon Edatin, trigger both, and start the Searching Train. That should allow us to clear AGMN's final back row and get over everything on his board and deal some decent damage over Cross Sword Beetle. But we shouldn't be able to just kill him here unless we can keep a third monster established, with which is possible. Because Izana would be able to attack twice. So we'll just clear his board here. So send anti-magic arrows. That's not bad. So Izana will be able to clear the board first, attacking over Cross Sword Beetle because it gets sent to the graveyard, which I believe it has to. Yep, it can go ahead and make a second attack, which is super relevant here. Big damage, second attack, clear a token, and then we'll go Edatin over the other token. During the end phase, we will see AGMN grab a additional token here. I do like that he's using the insect egg tokens as well. Nice touch. Beautiful, beautiful. So Ursus in a solid spot. I mean, we have Izana that can clear, I guess, the token. And plus we have double protection using both copies of MAR. But that doesn't mean he can't do any additional ritual summoning for the rest of the game. We see Brain Crusher coming down. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card destroy an opponent's monster by battle sent to the graveyard. This is actually not crazy against Ursus. Arguably, depending on what your back row is. But arguably, you don't summon Brain Crusher, so you have 2 tokens. Neither of the tokens get sent to the graveyard upon destruction by Izana here. So Izana wouldn't be able to make 2 attacks, and he wouldn't be able to take any, or shouldn't take any damage. We're going to see Izana shifted to defense, potentially fearing a Wall of Disruption. That is at 3, and the 3 of section is a little bit more open here. So we could see Wall here maybe as some bait. He's thinking. There's a solid chance there is a Wall of D in this back row here, and that's why the play was made. We are going to see the Wall of Disruption coming out here. Look at Ursus, the absolute legend, playing around that Wall of D like it was nothing. We will take the 1400 here. And yeah, I was going to say, I think we have to let this get destroyed, because if we don't, then Brain Crusher can just attack over it and actually win the duel. Brain Crusher will allow him to actually revive that Edatin to his side of the field, though. But it's just a 1600, 2000. It's not that big a deal. So board is full. Edison doesn't do a lot. We do have tokens Sunday. Destroys as many tokens and destroy cards on the field up to the number of tokens destroyed. We're just going to protect with Machine Angel Ritual. I mean, that's huge. We're going to see, yep, we're going to see Brain Crusher shift to defense here. And we'll grab an additional token. So if Ursus no longer fears the wall because one was used up, we can see him go ahead and clear both of these monsters. Is that what we're going to see happen? Probably. Yep, we're going to see Izana shift to attack, go to combat. Going to clear the Brain Crusher. And I don't know if we clear the token or Edatin. All right, we're going to go ahead and clear Edatin here. There's an argument for the token because if you leave, because it's any graveyard, right? And send it to the graveyard. Yeah. So if you leave the Edatin, you guaranteed have a double attack on the following turn. Versus if you leave 2 tokens, you know you can't attack twice with Izana. So could be a misplay. I don't know if there's any particular reason why you do remove Edatin here. I'm going to chalk it up to a misplay. Because now he cannot clear 2 tokens. He can only clear 1. And unless he's playing Fairy Meteor Crush, he's not dealing any damage. Just going to shift Izana to defense. I don't know what her answer is here. At least we know that AGMN isn't getting any extra tokens, which is cool. But we know he has Token Sunday, which is non-targeting destruction. So it doesn't trigger Izana and allows him to eat up the last Machine Angel Ritual. We do get to go and grab a Senju, which is nice. Grab a Ben 10. It doesn't do anything because we're out of ritual spells. Unless for some reason we're on Advanced Ritual Art, which would make absolutely no sense. Ooh! Creature swap. That would end it if this attack can go through. Spin that he's on to attack. Combat. Swing over Senju. Lethal? Maybe? It should be. Unless there's like another wall. Oh, is this not lethal? Am I horrible at math? Oh yeah, this is not lethal. Okay, never mind. 35 minus 14 is 2100. That is correct. So why do we make that play there? Just to... Maybe we have an additional copy of Creature Swap in hand? Possibly. Can we recycle ritual spells with this? And see, this is huge, right? And this is kind of like the issue with the play that Ursus just made. Is we know that these decks are playing cards like Insect Princess, and we know they're playing Piercers and the like. So, arguably not the correct play. Also, is the summoning of a token optional off the skill? I need to check that. But we are going to see Ursus take the first game loss here. Are we going to see My Precious Queen, the brand new deck, take finals of the very first Win-A-Box in the format? Wouldn't be surprising. Huge representation. The most representation in Top Cut and in the main event itself, the Swiss. It's looking good for him. Ursus will obviously have to go second here. And I need to go ahead and read this skill. Is the token summoning optional? I guess I can't tell you. Okay, here we go. During the end phase, you can special summon 1 token. So it is an optional effect, which means if he also had the Piercer in hand, he also could have just normal summoned that and killed Ursus there too. So I don't think Creature Swap was correct if you couldn't go for lethal there. Now maybe he didn't have another way to do it, to go for lethal. But I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and grab a copy of Senju, trigger Senju, grab either Edatin or Ben 10, whatever he's missing, or Izana. Maybe he already has both. Do we need to see... Oh no, we're actually just going to hold off here. Just go ahead and clear a token. Keep him off some tokens. That's fine. I don't mind that play. We could see Brain Crusher come out here and grab a... Yep. So we're going to see Brain Crusher come out. Brain Crusher is going to go ahead and hit over Senju. And actually, oh, okay, I see. We have macro flipped up here. I somehow missed this. Can you... Yeah, so Brain Crusher can actually not grab it because of macro. But that's not a big deal. You don't really need the Senju. Macro is probably shutting down Ursus a decent bit. he can't be playing Cosmic because of triple Ben 10. There's Night Beam, which cannot out macro. Does out a wall, though. If you see Wall of Disruption gone, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If you see Wall of Disruption gone, you know he has no back row. You can probably make a huge push here. You still get your triggers off of using them as tribute for the Ritual Summon. We're going to trigger this as well. Grab Ben 10. I guess we were missing multiple pieces. Activate that. Send Ben 10. Summon Edatin. Search, of course. Then we're going to see the other one come down here. Send Sonic Bird and Edatin for Izana. We're going to get out a double boosted Izana, and that should just be lethal. Oh, Eradicating Aerosol! Was this lethal without Eradicating Aerosol? It was, right? Or... no, it's only a single boosted one. It's not double boosted. Why do I think it's double boosted? This would have been 9 and 26 would have been... what, 35? Yeah, so it wouldn't have been lethal without the Eradicating Aerosol. But that's a really, really cool tech. Presumptively a sideboard card coming out here from Ursus. That is really, really good call for this current format. Clearing Insects is huge when the whole format is mostly My Precious Queen. I think it was 30% that had that as the skill. So, comes up a lot. Just a hard pass from Ursus going first. Gonna go ahead and grab a token here for AGMN. The thing with the Insect deck, though, is that it's not very aggressive. You cannot make a very quick, hard push. So Ursus doesn't have any issue or any worries about getting OTK'd. He knows he can just pass. You're just gonna get a token. Worst case scenario is someone to Brain Crusher and do 24, which is not the end of the world. We do see a full board here, and once again opens the macro against Ursus. Will this be relevant enough to clean up the game for AGMN here? Big Tetra Step. I like that I haven't had to press fast forward or next play, by the way. They're just playing at a decent rate where I can talk about the game and just keep going with it. So shout out to them. This is huge, though. This is game 3 in finals. I don't know if AGMN has ever won a win-a-box. We know that Ursus has won multiple. So will Ursus continue his win-a-box streak? Or will we see a first-time win coming out here? We're going to see the MAR come down, though. No response. Start banishing some cards. Okay. Thinking. So he's thinking he has to get aggressive here. Will he use both copies of MAR? Does he... see, I guess, like, what, in an ideal world, you have Night Beam for the background, and you can go Izana and out the macro. We're going to see Izana come down, though. So we'll resolve Ben 10 for the search, then Edatin for the boost, and then Izana to send a back row. Does AGMN have a Chain Link 4? No Chain Link 4. So we'll resolve the Ben 10. Grab a Senju. Edatin boost. Which, by the way, you can actually edit the stats in Dueling Book now. It's a really cool addition. We're actually going to see him drop off the macro here. So that back row is obviously very relevant. Possibly a copy of Wall of Disruption. Or something of the like. I guess we don't feel like we need macro anymore since we've already banished 3 cards on Ursus' side. We're going to go combat. We're going to swing into the Beetle. We can take a Wall of Disruption and still out this Beetle without any issue. Down goes the Beetle, big 17. Then we out a token as well. That has to be Wall. Wall is basically telegraphed here, right? Which, I mean, if you're Ursus, you just play around the wall from this position now. We know he's on Eradicating Aerosol. Question is how many. But even through a single wall here, you still win off of an Eradicating Aerosol right now. So if Ursus has Aerosol or draws into Aerosol, at any point, with just Izana on board, he wins the duel unless AGMN has 2 copies of Wall. He would need 2 copies of Wall to be able to stop this. He does have an additional back row. Could be a copy of Wall. Here's that 3rd token in the end phase. Can we win this turn? Gonna go for the Mind Crush here. Okay, so that's not a Wall. Is he gonna call Aerosol? You probably call Eradicate. Yep. Gonna call Eradicating Aerosol. Does Ursus have it? Did he make the crazy play of calling blind? I gotta say the name. Does he make the crazy play of blind calling Eradicating Aerosol? All right. Does it pay off? Oh, it did. He did. Oh, that's insane. He literally called it. I gotta go back. I can't go back. I wish there was like a last play button. I would like to see if that was the card he drew. I guess in editing I'll see it. That's huge though. That Mind Crush on Eradicating Aerosol was absolutely huge. It was basically guaranteed the draw for turn. This keeps AGMN in the game. We're going to tribute set, which I don't know why you do that. Because even if you drop Izana by 1600, or I guess maybe it has enough defense to survive through Wall. That's possible. I don't know what Brain Crusher's defense is. Gonna have to do some next play hitting here. Got you. You can normal summon level 7 instrumental less tribute. You cannot set them. There we go. Same thing as Spellproof Armor, where you can normal summon them for 1 less cost, but you cannot just set them. So we're still going to go ahead and set. Does Brain Crusher... Tell me this is Brain Crusher. Yeah, okay. It wouldn't survive after a single drop. Does it survive a double drop by Izana? Because what? Izana's currently at 35, so it dropped by 16. So it still wouldn't survive a double drop from Izana anyway. So if Ursus could summon a second Izana, then he can win. No, he can't win because he still can't clear everything. Because tokens can't go to grave. Gonna go ahead and trigger Machine Angel Ascension though. Gonna grab the ritual spell. Pitching Eradicating, which is interesting. Drew another copy of Aerosol and opted to pitch it. Because don't you just click it there? And then... I don't know. You have to be on the read that that's Wall, right? That's Wall of Disruption in the back row here. Are we trying to bait the Wall? What are we doing? We're going to be able to summon an additional Edatim. So this is like kind of like the situation I was talking about. We do get a double boosted Izana here. Can that win the game? We know a double dropped Izana can still swing over Brain Crusher. We know what this is. 1200 can still swing over Insect Princess. We're going to sack Izana for Izana. Oh, yes, and Izana has an effect to get rid of the back row. All right, so Senju clear. And then hit over. Effect, hit over. We can only hit for 16, though. We don't have a double boosted Edaton here. This isn't game, and he will get a token. 2 tokens guaranteed to wall up, and Izana cannot trigger off of sending tokens. But even if he summons another monster or sets another monster, he still loses because of Izana's double attack. So he needs back row. Desperately. Wall of Disruption would be huge here if he just top decked it. If he did not top deck Wall, he probably loses. Big think. Sacking it for Brain Crusher. And a back row. Hit into Edaton. Yep. Gonna hit into Edaton. We can protect here. We can also let it die. So we take less drops from Wall. Right? Because if you let it die, yep, then you don't drop as much from Wall, which makes Izana still usable. You can also still clear both. But he still does have the token. Ooh. Well, that could clean up the game. I guess he's thinking what to give him. That was a huge top deck. That was insane. Is that back row Wall? Oh, I need to know. Is that a Wall of Disruption? Or is it a bluff? Come on. Gonna give him the token. Gonna go combat, swing into the Senju here. It's the safest swing in. If he has Wall, you still hit over it. No, you don't. This is not double boost anymore, so it's still the safest. If you don't have Wall, Waking. That's gonna do it. Damn, there's a world too where, I mean, he can't summon off Waking, so it doesn't matter. Waking was actually pointless here. Maybe you don't. I don't think you play Waking in the insect build because your field's just clogged all the time. But that's it. Ursus wins. Literally was betting it all on top deck swap. That's crazy. Yeah, should have protected Edaton. Should definitely have protected Edaton there. Well, Ursus wins off of the most insane luck top deck right there. Absolutely crazy. Huge congrats to Ursus. Already has received his winnings, of course. And let's go ahead and jump into the event breakdown here. So in front of your eyes, you can see some beautiful graphs made by none other than DG Kun. Shout out to you. We have the breakdown up top here for the actual event, which was 33 players overall, deck types, and then skills, which we see mostly Precious Queen and My Precious Queen being used. Precious Queen being the just the deck itself, but we also see the My Precious Queen skill getting used in most of the Red Eyes builds as well, making that skill actually take up 30% or over 30% of the overall breakdown. And exactly 50% of the top cut as well. But overall, we see a bunch of one-ofs, which is like whatever, between like Cocoon of Ultra Evolution, Forged Steel, all this crap, right? There's like some decent decks in here. Like some of these decks do have like niche odds of topping, but very, very unlikely compared to Precious Queen, Red Eyes, and Cyber Angels. I'm honestly really shocked too to see Union's top. It was played by Nikki, who's known to be a really, really skilled competitive player. But even so, shocked to see the deck top. I don't think it's necessarily going to be good in the format, but it did manage to come out in the top cut that you can see down here with 1 water, which I'm also very surprised about, but it had a decent representation, so kind of makes sense. 1 unions, 1 red eyes, 3 precious queen, and 2 cyber angels. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up 2 for you guys here, all of the different decks that topped, and give you guys a quick breakdown. You'll be able to view these decks on Speed Duel League at some point after this video. It won't be as soon as it's released, but you will see it eventually. Starting off with Nikki here. We have Nikki's Union deck with Union combination as a skill. It's pretty standard, with Berserk Scales being the only interesting thing. You can see the limited list cards that he used down here. Triple book, only 1 copy of Foolish, didn't need a second 2 of slot, and 1 copy of a Floodgate Trap Hole. Make sure you join the Speed Duel League Discord, by the way. Link in the description if you haven't already. Match win-loss is only 4-3, so just above 50%, and then same thing with game win-loss, just above 50% here. So nothing too crazy. The next top 8 deck we will go ahead and look at is Shadowy Flame. We got Shadowy Flame here with the water deck. 5-2 record overall, so not too bad. Better than the Union deck. We see 2 book and 1 cosmic for the 3 ofs, 2 foolish for the 2 ofs, and 1 offerings for the 1 of here. This deck plays the new Bountiful Ocean skill to give you some protection here, which is pretty cool for like the Terra King Salmon, which is just overall the best 1-drop that they have with Legendary Ocean. And yeah, it's Legendary Ocean is also super searchable now, thanks to the monster that can search it, that I can never remember the name of, but it's cool. And you can also search the monster off of Bountiful Ocean, which is really nice as well. Like from the graveyard, of course. I'm not gonna lie though, don't know a lot about this deck. I like that he has the side decked water monster that can negate things. That's really cool. And probably a decent build to play Curse Steel, which I wonder if that came up against any Cyber Angel players. Maybe. Next, we'll go ahead and talk about Judoka 91's Red Eyes build here in top 8. This is the My Precious Queen Red Eyes build that focuses on taking advantage of the Gearfried, the Red Eyes Iron Knight, in conjunction with cards like Black Metal Dragon, Red Eyes Baby Dragon, and the Blast with Chain to be able to just pop and destroy a ridiculous amount of cards. Along with that, we also have Token something. The token card that pops tokens and kills guys. Cool card. Overall, this deck is, I think, my favorite new deck of the format. It's less stally than the My Precious Queen variant and isn't just focused on flooding the field with tokens. I think it's a really, really cool deck. Would have been cool to see it go further and see it in action because of that. But here it is, top 8. Congratulations. And our final top 8 contender here is Arialdar. He's won a Winnabox before, I do believe, and has topped multiple. And he is playing another similar build to our second place AGMN's deck, which is the My Precious Queen Insect variant. Went actually 6-1, went undefeated in Swiss, and then lost right away in top cut. Very sad, but you do get to see, which is why I really like having the win-loss records over here. You get to see that even though this deck is not first place, is not second place, you get to see that it performed phenomenally and should really be taken seriously. Creature Seizure is actually the choice for this deck, usually over Creature Swap, because you can force them to take a token, and if they use like offerings, for example, to pop the token, they're not going to steal your Brain Crusher on you, which will be forced by Creature Swap. So that's why you see this preferred. Overall, it's seems pretty standard. Curse Steel, once again, you have a lot of spells. That's pretty cool. And just insects, and you get tokens every turn. It's an insane skill, horribly designed, which we always just design Weevil horribly in Speed Duels. Cool. Moving on to top 4 here, we have Salty Ali playing Cyber Angels, the other Cyber Angel player besides Ursus, and I do believe they did get matched up in top 4 and had to knock one of the other ones out. So that's kind of relevant, which I think it also happened to My Precious Queen. So it was guaranteed to be a CA Precious Queen finals match just because of how the bracket ended up once they hit top 4. 5-3 record overall, so not too bad. Seems pretty similar to Ursus's build. We didn't see Ursus use Fairy Meteor Crush, but I think it's a very solid call because of token format. And we do see the creature swaps in the side deck and offerings as well. And then you get to see too the 2 copies of Machine Age Ritual and 3 copies of Ben 10 because of how the limited list is working currently. And then, of course, the final build in Top Cut, like I said, is once again another My Precious Queen variant that focuses on not red eyes, so it's just called Precious Queen. This one not using insects though. Gabriel opted to focus on Battle Survivor, Cyber Valley, and Sphere Karibo. So much more of a stall variant than the insect variant is overall, which can be countered in a lot of ways. We're actually seeing the format kind of move away from the stall builds already. But yeah, nice to be able to take advantage of 2 copies of Rhoda too, which is really, really cool. To basically make you have 3 copies of Battle Survivor, or sorry, 5 copies of Battle Survivor, and similar situation where you use Creature Seizure over Swap. And once again, I don't like Waking in this build because your field is flooded so often. It just can make Waking, that's already a dead card, just completely dead. So not a big Waking fan. The rest of it seems to make a lot of sense, and Soul Release in the sideboard is very interesting. Lava Golem makes sense. Moving off into our second place list here with AGMN, the Master AGMN, I'll have you know. Playing Precious Queen, playing an insect build similar to that one we've seen in top 8, with a 6-3 overall record and 14 game wins and 7 game losses. Only playing Wall Disruption as his 3 of, which I think is arguably better than Book of Moon for this deck specifically. Triple Macro on the side is huge, same thing with Double Mind Crush. Very prepared for the Cyber Angel matchup. And yeah, triple Anti-Magic Arrows as the new card here. I don't know how much I like it, but it's fine. This is a more aggressive My Precious Queen variant, but still not super aggressive. I mean, as we've seen, Ursus just passed his turn and knew he couldn't lose, which was, you know, interesting. Slow duels. But yeah, no, I like it. I think it's the best built one. I don't like Waking, at least is in the side deck and not the main board, but I still don't like Waking in this deck. But finally, we get to go ahead and go off to CM Ninjetti Ursus here in first place with the Cyber Angel build. It's very, very similar to the other one that we just looked at. The main differences being Creature Swap in the main, Eradicating Aerosol at 2 in the main, and we see like Share the Pain and extra back removal as well in the sideboard, so that's very similar there. But 7-2 overall for Ursus here. Did lose 2 games in Swiss, and I think was 7th overall going into Top Cut. Something relevant to keep in mind, but went 14-6 overall and went 7-2. You know Cyber Angel is a phenomenal deck. You know that My Precious Queen is the other really good deck. Which one is better? Hard to say. I think most people would probably lean towards My Precious Queen, but Cyber Angels can just win games for no reason, and the Eradicating Aerosol tech is huge. Maybe a reason to move away from the insect variants. Who knows? But that's it. That is your Winabox results for Winabox number 31. Hope you enjoyed this video. Curse of Yugioh will be coming back in some regard. Not quite sure what or how, but in some regard. But irregardless, we have Speed Duel League. It's still rocking and rolling. And it will still be as I leave, because this will be my last thing done as a staff member on Speed Duel League forever. So, was really fun. My last hurrah, making a video, and running a Winabox. Best of luck to the new staff members that are here, and I hope y'all keep enjoying Speed Duels and what Speed Duel League has to bring you guys as a community. But ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Catch you guys all later. Peace.